Hi, everybody. Let me first say that I would be very happy to see you next time face to face instead of us sitting in the home offices or in the offices and seeing each other on Teams, Zooms, and all kinds of other teleconferencing software. However, this is the life, and I do hope for all of us that we will soon be able to meet each other. But in the meantime, let me share with you the presentation that I have prepared. I hope you will be able to see it. Let me just share my screen. That's perfect.
Yeah, just go into presentation mode. That's it. Great.
Yes. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me just present to you in short DCT Gdansk. Yes, we have been already mentioned. I am very happy. We are part of the port of Gdansk. DCT has been developed and opened in 2007 in October, and as of that moment, slowly we've become the largest and the only deep-water container terminal in the Baltic Sea. And the picture here, in the better times, you are seeing the largest MSC vessel coming to DCT Gdansk. The weather was beautiful. We are seeing these kinds of vessels 2 times a week. In terms of DCT Gdansk, these are the technical specifications. Yes, we are truly a deep water facility. We have 2 berths, we have 14 STS cranes capable of serving the largest vessels afloat. We have the capacity of 3.25 million TEUs, and we are now working on the tracks, rail tracks, to make sure that we can serve all this extra volume that we hope will be flowing back and forth from Ukraine, Black Sea, so that we can become a part of this initiative. Now we work 24/7, so don't worry. We will serve your containers and your traffic all year round, all the time. In terms of the port of Gdansk and where we are, as you can see, we are just outside of the city of Gdansk, in the middle of the port, in the open water. We have the approach which allows us to operate the vessels with a draft of 15 meters. We have 3 turning circles, so it's easy, it's fast, it's convenient for the vessels to call. But what is even more important, it is very easy and fast to get out the box of the port. As already was mentioned by Mr. President of the Port of Gdansk, 35% of our traffic is on rail and 65% of the gate traffic is on truck. As you can see, the adjacent logistics park is also taking care of all the warehousing, stuffing, stripping activities. And in terms of the access to the national railway system, which then goes further and further inland and connects us with other countries, it is very easy. We are connected directly with the national railway system and national highway system. Now, this is a beautiful slide that reminds us of 2019, where everything was growing and we were all happy and we were meeting in the cafes and going out to restaurants and our economies were flourishing. Obviously, at that point of time, Poland was growing 4.3%. We were all very happy. We saw that the growth was much faster. I mean, yes, in Poland we still have a long way to go to reach the EU top economies. However, we are doing that pretty fast. What happened was in 2020, unfortunately, for all the economies, the situation has changed. So in EU, on average, it has lost 7.4% GDP. Poland, however, lost only 2.8%, Sweden minus 3.4%, Ukraine 4.4%, and Turkey only 0.2%, which then means that these economies are quite resilient to the crisis. What it means for us, it means that the container traffic is still strong. What we saw in the port of Gdansk and in DCT Gdansk was that the local volumes were growing in the time of recession, which is very interesting to see. Now, this is how it looked across the Europe. This is the official data from IMF. So as you can see, unfortunately, all our nearby economies were struck with COVID. However, our region, the Central East Europe, has not suffered as much as the other economies. Now, the banana-shaped line is the line of the ice, which is forming in the cold months in winter. As you can see, the east coast of Sweden, where our colleague Magnus is sitting today, is not affected with the ice, and Gdansk and Gdynia and other ports are not either. However, the other ports up north and up to the east may be. Now, in terms of fast presentation of the services, Ocean Line service, one of the services calling DCT on a weekly basis. The vessels deployed more than 21,000 TEUs on a regular basis. We exchange a pretty lot of moves on these services. Now, a very similar, however, with a bit different port rotation service of 2M Alliance. As you can see, both are linking also Korea, which is very important for this part of Europe. And obviously China, and one of them is hubbing over Tanjung Palapas for the Asian volumes, and the other one in Singapore. Now, going to our region, which is the most important thing, as DCT Gdansk, we are and we consider ourselves as the gateway to the sea and the hub for the Baltics. Now, why do we claim that? First of all, we have a lot of services with our partners which are now deployed over the Baltic Sea. As you can see, we have regular connections to our colleagues in different ports in the Baltics. And in terms of the gateway traffic, as already mentioned, 35-65% ratio rail to road. We are serving more than 500 block trains, and with the ongoing investments that we are now doing, we will have ample capacity to offer to customers also for the Poland, Ukraine, Turkey, and also Sweden and UK traffic. So all this is something that we are gearing up for. Now, we have already a working solution that goes to Czech Republic, to Paskov. We are working on the solution to Slovakia this year. So we hope to see that development as well. We are also part of the direct traffic going from Xi'an province in China that is linking the Xi'an with the Nordic and with UK. And we are working, and this is very, very important for us. We are working also with our Ukrainian colleagues and Polish colleagues with the connection to Ukraine. Now, obviously, this is only one way of approaching and how the cargo is going from Turkey and vice versa, Ukraine to the Baltics. Now, if you wanted to go via the sea, it takes a long way. Yes, when we look at the map, you could actually easily cross it. And this is what is happening right now. We have the corridors going via La Spezia. We have the corridors via the Adriatic. Yes, we have some traffic going via Ukraine to the Baltics. However, it is not, as far as I know, this is not going via the rail and not linking the port of Gdansk with the Ukrainian ports by rail. What we are missing, ladies and gentlemen, when we look at the situation, what it could have been. Now, DCT has an extensive feeder network that is handled by our partners. Now, we have connections with the United Kingdom, with Sweden, with the Baltics. Now, we know, and it was already mentioned, that there are several terminals which can link the rail traffic with the port of Gdansk to Ukraine, which is a wide gauge. Now, we currently have the rail connection between Zamość, DCT Gdansk, and the port of Gdansk, and Sławków. To Sławków, we have more than 8 to 9 services a week that go on a regular basis, long intermodal trains. Now with Zamość, it just started, but we are seeing that this is an ongoing process and it's building up. So we have the coverage from the north on the feeder services. We have, for example, the link to North Shipping. We have the links going to the south of Poland. And we know that the Ukrainian ports have a very extensive network going across the Black Sea. Now, what we are missing is just a spot. Now, obviously, we see some traffic coming over on the trucks, but is it something that is the end goal? I don't think so. I mean, it's a long way to cover. So why would a Turkish customer or any other customer from this region be going either across the whole of the sea or just using the truck. I mean, the Turkish trucker, for example, can just cross the strait, go through the EU and go up, right? It's one way. It's a trucking. It is expensive, but it's the fastest one. Now, the other one is you could use the sea services going to La Spezia, and then use either trucking or rail, and then approach or come to UK or Nordic or EU. Yes, but when looking at the map, I mean, this seems to be something that we are very close to achieving. I mean, this is just one link that we miss. So why not try it? Ladies and gentlemen, that's the question of this webinar.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks, Dominik. That's very helpful. And actually, you're right. And that map is actually very educational in showing where the missing link, as you rightly call it, exists. And I suppose, you know, that question needs to be put to our Ukrainian colleagues, and we'll take that at the end. Because there may be rail gauge issues as well, which you rightly mentioned. Just one further question, again, taking advantage of my seat. And the last time we met, we also discussed briefly the possibility of a rail service direct from China, which now seems, based on your presentation, that it's now in existence. Do you see that as complementary to the deep sea services that you have, or what's the added benefit?
I would say so, Steve, because I mean, the customers, let's face it, the customers are voting with their money and with their feet. The maritime transportation takes a long time. Now, actually, now it's very expensive. It used to be much less. So it was very competitive in terms of the pricing with the rail product. Now, not so much more. However, the rail, I think, is just complementary to the maritime traffic. As it was mentioned already by the president of Port of Gdansk, the rail traffic between Asia and Europe is just few percent, right? When we look at the volume that we are handling on an annual basis, let's say DCT Gdansk is one of the very many hubs in Europe, and we are handling 2 million TEUs, right? When we look at the 2 million TEUs, the number of trains, and obviously Wojciech from PKP will tell us more, but as I understand, in Marszewicze, we are currently serving 10, 12 pairs of trains going and for the whole of Europe. So when you look at the size and taking into account that, let's say, each rail or each train is about 80 TEUs both ways, is 160 TEUs, multiplied by 10, it's 1.6 thousand TEUs a day. It is less than what we do as one of the many terminals. So this is just, I would say it's complementary. When you want your iPad or iPhone to get to your shelf, you use airplane. When you want to have your inventory to your factory, be it Korean, let's say car manufacturer or white goods, then you may use the train. But vast majority will be coming over sea.
Yeah, so it's very much a transit time thing, Dominik, from what you're saying.
Yes, this is what I believe so. And we would like, as DCT, we are open to all initiatives. So we are not hub we are not closed for the only hub and gateway concept. We are trying to see what makes sense for our customers. If they would like to be part of the A19, like we have the Maersk product, which is linking the sea, rail, and sea, we are then receiving the feeders from St. Petersburg. And it's good for the customers. So why not try it? I mean, if there are any new ways of serving the market, we are open for it. Like the initiative we are talking right now.